Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Raising Excellence, the TEASER show. I'm Michael, the MC and Opportunity Ambassador for today's show, and today's show's title is Kick Mental Anguish in the Butt, the TEASER version. With me today is one of my favorite co-hosts, Dennis, our Freedom Facilitator.
Greetings and blessed love, everybody. Mike, great to be here with you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Obviously, we were missing a co-host, and we were considering some other possible titles, but this is what we got stuck on. There's a lot of words that describe mental anguish, and I wanted to go through a couple of them, maybe more, depending on how much time we got. But there's a lot of this going around these days, and maybe it's not what you might call mental anguish. Maybe you call it depression. Maybe you call it melancholy. Maybe you call it sadness. Maybe you call it heartbreak, desolation, gloom, despair, hopelessness, the blues. There's a lot of different words that describe this kind of feeling that a lot of people feel familiar with, I guess, at this time of year.
Feeling down in the darkness. Yeah, it's something that I really, I think I hinted at that last week. I recognize that once, because I'm back here on this side of the world where it just literally gets darker this time of the year, or now it's supposedly springtime, so it's supposed to come back, which it does at times, but it's also gone back to cold and dark. So there's an influence of the weather, of the outside conditions, which certainly in my mind and from my experience does impact the behavior, the mood of people, health of people. There's a huge impact of that as well, and there's lots of research, interesting research being done on that. But I would dare to say that beyond the usual winter depression, the winter blues, if you can call it that, there's something else going on, and I'm certain that it's related to the global situation that we have going on for the last year or so now, and I can see now people that are otherwise in a good place after and have been so far, that this is really hitting a lot of people hard, having in places just like this, when you're having being told to wear certain things and stay at your home and don't talk to anybody or don't meet even your own family and stuff. So that's if nothing else, that alone can really pull you down, and especially after weeks, months, or even a year. So I see that all over the place. Do you witness that around you where you are as well?
Well, I definitely feel like there's a lot of animosity towards a lot of different things, and I do feel like this is one of those circumstances in modern history where it's almost like a world war, where there's like a whole new thing. Maybe it's the war on terror, that kind of that like something big has changed and it's affecting a lot of people. But for this particular one, it is much more close to home, where people have to alter their behavior specifically because of this circumstance. And whether you believe it or not, if there's a pandemic or there isn't, pretty much everybody has to deal with some of it. And being that it's been a whole year that this has been going on now, and there's been a lot of fear mongering and that type of thing, I certainly feel like it is something that is weighing on a lot of people. And certainly the difficulty with communicating with people, I think, and like coming to some conclusion where people can have a similar experience rather than being at odds with other people. I think it's something that probably weighs on people's attitude and mindfulness.
We do have a drastic increase in domestic violence, drastic increase in suicide as well. Then, of course, all the fallout of the so-called lockdown with businesses closing down, people losing their livelihood, having to work at home, not seeing people again, not being just not being out among people, whether it's your family or whether it's even the people you don't even know well, but you're sitting next to in the bus in the morning. That all, a week, a month or so, that might not be so tough, but like after a year or so, it shows. And
Yeah.
you can see all kind of symptoms all over the place. And I feel that the name that we chose, mental anguish, as one of the different names that you also highlighted a while ago, is actually also, it is also a point in itself, because the mind, it does affect the mind. And one of the things that came back to my mind these days when reflecting is that if there is if there are issues on the physical realms, go and look on the inside, look on the emotional level, look on the mental level. And if vice versa, if there's trouble, if there's challenges on the mental, on the emotional, on the inner level, it is often very helpful to look in the physical. And so one side is always hinting, pointing, or it seems to be a pointer to the other side. And but that's also already going to the solution. Of course, on Wednesday when we have the full show, we would like to offer solutions and share solutions that we have found for ourselves personally, but also for the clients we work with, for the people that attend the courses, in your case ethical emergence that you're leading. And because that's something we think about and we practice and we share, and we're also very willing and open to learn from you. And so we don't only want to share our virtual living room and our experiences with you, but we also enjoy getting your feedback and getting your input. So if you would like to
Yeah.
share your experience, but then also solutions that you have found or things that have helped you, I would be highly interested in hearing that. And you can do that through the comments or through linking us through our website that we have. Let me put the website name up again. And yeah, so we're looking for your continued support and input on that level in our work.
Yeah, I think there's a great deal of resources within our audience that we would like to tap into, and certainly experiences and so forth that we've got a kind of a diverse, open-minded audience to a large degree, and so there could be some new things that could pop up that maybe people haven't heard of before that might work for them. And so that's certainly something that I would love to initiate or be a part of. And there are a lot of different things that can be used to deal with some of these situations. And it's unfortunate that we're in the circumstances that we are, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It could be beneficial, and so
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to point people towards is it yeah, like we need to see it as it is. We need to understand that there is a reality to the circumstances that we have, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to conform to what are the expected reactions to the sources of the problems.
Yeah, and let's make use of this situation and transform it into something, a stepping stone forward. If it's okay, if there's a wall, let's figure out how to overcome it. Okay, we don't have a ladder to climb over it. Okay, maybe have a shovel to dig underneath it, or we go to the left or to the right, whatever it is. But if life puts something in your way, then what is your approach to it? And if you haven't found an approach, then come back on Wednesday and we certainly share some approaches, and not everything will fit you or will be your thing, but maybe it can be for a friend or for a relative. And maybe among the many things that we all share, and the kind of vibe that we can co-create, there's a couple of things that you actually can use or that excite you, or that will actually be the missing part, or that can be then encouragement for further research for you. Because in order to really find out and to dig deep about some of the topics that we keep on mentioning and that we highlight here, it might take you a long while to actually find out about them. So I would see, just like when you go to the dojo, when you go work out for a martial art, the training that you're actually getting from the master, from the sensei, from your teacher. This actually, this is just basically, you know, he's introducing you to new techniques, to new ways of moving, to new blocks or new attacks. But the actual training, that is when you go home and you train and you repeat and repeat and repeat it for yourself, and you then add it to your repertoire. But when you go to the dojo, that's where you get the ideas, that's where you get the inspiration, that's where you get, you know, somebody to look at your technique and give you a hint as, oh, you know, train this and do this better. And but then you go home, and then the real training starts when you go home, when you're by yourself, and then you start repeating and you do what you need to do. So on Wednesday, I see it as that at least, you know, I see it as an experience where we share what we have to share, and where we also invite you, you know, to share and chime in, so we can all grow together. And if you're in a dark place, you know, let's we reach out our hands, we stretch out our hands to, you know, to give you a pull out of it. And yeah, likewise, we ask you to do the same. You know, if you have something fabulous to share that could help us, that could help other people, you know, let's get together, share it, and make this world a better place for all of us, so we can all, you know, together as one proceed and continue our
Absolutely.
journey.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention that I live in Acapulco. We have the Anarchapulco community, and unfortunately, we had a couple sad events this past few days that a lot of affected the community and was sad news. And so certainly an opportunity to address that as well. But because I know there's a lot of people within our community that are saddened by the news. And so, with that said, I guess we'll conclude this teaser and certainly invite everybody to be ready for our show on Wednesday, which is approximately 4:35 p.m. Central Time, 11:35 p.m. Central Europe time, right?
Yes, very good.
And we'll see you there.
Yes, thank you so much. Looking forward to staying in the light and pulling those who are in the darkness out of their anguish, and yeah, see what we can do to help each other. Thank you so much for your time, and see you on Wednesday again. Looking forward to that show. Bye bye.
Take care, everybody. See you then.